Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. Our source material, it's not some dense paper or, a pile of articles. Instead, we've got just a book title, it seems, and, well, a couple of really intriguing digital clues. So the mission today is, can we actually pull out some real insights, maybe even surprising ones, from what looks like, well, not much information? How much can we learn when things are this sparse? Okay, let's try and unpack this.
Yeah, this is fascinating because we're kind of doing a deep dive on the information's packaging, not just the information itself. We're looking at the clues around the content, and it immediately brings up a pretty big question, doesn't it? In this age of just information everywhere, what does the way something is sourced, its sort of digital fingerprint, tell us about how we find and share knowledge now?
Okay, so clue number one. The main piece we have is a PDF document. It's titled, PDF. No. For anyone who doesn't read Arabic, that translates to Letting Go by David R. Hawkins. So right there, that single line, it tells us a few things. It's digital, obviously, a book, and that original title being in Arabic. Well, it hints at its journey, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. That .pdf on the end, it seems trivial, but it's actually quite significant. It tells us the format is built for easy sharing, potentially very wide distribution, maybe outside the usual channels. And the Arabic title, yeah, that's key. It strongly suggests this isn't just a translation project, but this specific copy might have originated within, or was definitely curated for, an Arabic-speaking community. It really highlights how knowledge just flows across languages and borders now, often very fluidly, sometimes completely bypassing traditional publishers.
Right, bypassing the gatekeepers almost. So a digital book, probably aimed at a specific audience, moving globally. But then, hang on, there's more in the source info we got. These lines, all new Kentelio Shea, and also tele.bftvo Now, these don't feel like random bits of text. They seem specific, like labels. What story do these unlock?
Ah, yes, this is where it gets really layered. Al-Rami Ahmad Library, that name, library, suggests something structured, organized. Could be a real library, could be a digital archive, but it implies, curation, cataloging maybe.
Yeah.
That number, Ansun29, could even be a catalog number. But then you have Tele at KTPDF right alongside it. That points very clearly towards Telegram. A Telegram channel, likely one focused on sharing PDF books.
Okay, so a library reference and a Telegram channel. That seems like an odd mix.
It is, but it's also very revealing about how things work now. You've got this sort of formal, maybe authoritative sounding source, the library, combined with a much more informal peer-to-peer sharing network like Telegram. It shows this kind of tension or maybe a blend between traditional knowledge systems and these new community-driven digital pathways. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do these different access points change how we find things, how we trust things, how information even survives?
That's a really powerful observation. It's not just about getting the book easily. This mix of, let's say, formal sounding and very informal channels, it really speaks to how knowledge spreads today. It suggests an ecosystem where maybe access is the main goal and information finds ways around the old systems. The path it takes is as much a part of the story as the content itself.
Exactly right. And it means content can spread incredibly fast, incredibly wide. But it also means that this metadata, these little bits of info like the file name, the source tags, they become super important. They're not just filing details anymore. They're actual clues. Clues to the life story of that digital file, where it came from, how it's traveling. Every little digital crumb tells a tale, if you look closely enough.
So, thinking about this for you, our listener,
Yeah.
what does all this add up to? We haven't actually read Letting Go, not a single page. But just by looking at its digital wrapper, its title, these identifiers, we've learned a surprising amount. We've touched on how information gets stored, how it gets labeled, and how it travels the world today, from libraries, real or virtual, right through to these dynamic online groups. This tiny bit of data opened up a whole view of knowledge sharing in the digital age. So today's deep dive wasn't into the words on the page, but into the very fabric of information itself, packaging, its history, its journey. And I think we've shown that even the smallest clues, the briefest sources, can actually hold some pretty big insights about our world.
Yeah, what I find really valuable about doing this kind of analysis is it pushes you, the listener, to look past just the headlines or the main text. It really encourages you to think a bit more critically about how stuff reaches you. What path did it take? Whose hands, digitally speaking, has it passed through?
Right. Which leads us to our final thought for you to take away. Next time you come across any information, could be an article, a video, maybe just a meme or an image shared online, pause for just a second. Look for those little identifiers, the file name, the source tag, the account that shared it. What hidden stories might those small digital details be telling you about that information's journey to your screen or into your thoughts?